Hi, I'm Pastor Dave, and welcome to this special edition of the Final Hour. I'm so glad you're here because this week, the last few weeks we've been sharing about having an inside access to the IDF over in Israel. I spent a few weeks with the IDF in August. I've been bringing back videos and pictures and stories of what's went on behind the scenes. But this week, you get to hear a first-hand interview with a member of Special Forces with the IDF. He sat down for about a half an hour, and his interview, I think, is amazing. So I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you really understand what it's like to be serving Israel in the IDF. Well, hello, Standing Stones Community Church. This is Pastor Dave. I'm just outside of Gaza, and I got a brand new friend I want to introduce you to here. Ariel, will you say hi to Standing Stones Church?
Hi guys, pleasure to be here.
This is being down here is obviously an emotional time. I know October 7th was a terrible time, and you were at home, got a phone call early, but what's it like now? And, being a church, we're a remnant church, we love Israel, we support Israel. What can we do? We live, 6,000 miles away. How can we help? What can we do?
Well, these days with the media and everything being on the internet, then your support is very noticeable regardless of the distance. And as you're living proof of that, you can come and visit as well and see for yourself and also partake, like support the people and everything that it means for us. I know it's hard to imagine what it means to be reservists for 2 years, fighting this kind of evil, and it is challenging in many ways. Um, First of all, yeah, any fighting for any period of time is challenging, but the thing that actually wears us down is people not seeing the truth.
Hmm.
So fighting for so long against such obvious evil that does everything with no disguises, just out in the open, and then calls it in another name.
Right.
And seeing the free world fall for it really takes the wind out of our sails.
Yeah, the Western media has turned things so around, and many college, university campuses in America are just supporting Hamas, not really understanding what it is. So it was interesting to me. Just about an hour ago, we were helping, or you were helping a captain
Yeah,
in the IDF, and
a random captain.
yeah, and all you gave him something for his gun. Explain what you gave to him.
Well, so this guy has been fighting for a long time, but he was ill-equipped, and I noticed on while we were waiting for our coffee that there is no way that the setup that he had on his rifle. I'm a weapons master among other things, and I noticed that there's no way that this setup can hold zero. Okay, so it cannot really be operational. And I mentioned that to him without presenting myself, without asking, just like, hey, dude, this cannot work. And I told him that if he's interested, he can come and see me afterwards, and I'll do my best to help him. And this is what we did. You saw it happen.
Right.
And it's just, doing God's work. Just, I think, for all of us, in every capacity, each one of us has his own strength, his own ways that he can be a productive member of society.
Right.
And then all we need is a pair of eyes to see the others, see the people in front of us, their needs.
And while you were working on his gun, I was talking with him. He made a comment that he's heading into Gaza. Again, he's a captain in the IDF, heading into Gaza. And he said, even though you're helping me with this strap, when I hold my gun up and I have to protect, it's going to remind me that other people are out there help me and care.
Yeah.
So Standing Stones, again, we're 6,000 miles away. We're getting a different story. We're seeing what's really happening here now. And to have a soldier say, thank you. Just give me a strap where I can properly hold my gun. Now, the gun itself was over 30 years old, I was told. It really wasn't.
They really, get better with age.
Yes, they do. So,
62 was a very good year.
well, something you made, a comment you made earlier was that before the reserves were called up, there was about 20,000 in the Israeli military,
yeah.
and now you get close to 300,000. So they're ill prepared.
But
They
you're
don't.
only referring to fighters.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. People, yeah, actually going to war and doing the fighting. And you made a comment that a lot of them spend their own money. A lot of them have to kind of provide for themselves because the money's just not there from the government or from the defense fund.
It's I spend over 100,000 shekels on gas alone.
Out of your own pocket.
Yeah. Roughly, I'm invested over 200,000 shekels, like $50,000?
Yeah. 4-to-1 ratio. Yeah.
Yeah. Depends on. Yeah.
And a lot of these soldiers are providing their own equipment, their own gear.
The guy we met before, that we also helped before this captain, he's also invested heavily from his own funds, but it depends. We were business owners. This guy we met as well. Now the captain, I imagine he's a hired worker. So it depends. Everyone does what they can, and have to understand that after what we experienced, money seems of no value. Because when you die, all of your belongings become irrelevant.
Right. Now we were also talking to one of the members who's a member of 8-man militia, eight crew, and he was creating a bridge
for really a militia.
Yeah, for drones. Tell us about the drones that he needed though, and the drone use.
The thing is, we spoke before about what I do and how it comes to play, and obviously we cannot provide everything people need because it's
for the fighters.
It's billions.
Yes.
Okay, of dollars if we find honest suppliers. So what I do, first of all, I find honest suppliers. I develop also the answers to the questions that comes from the battlefield, if needed. And this way we get it for the best prices, for manufacturer prices, and have it delivered to the soldiers and give them both the abilities they need and the support they need. But because we cannot do it for everyone and there are too many needs, first of all, I try to get it for them in the army, first step, before even asking for a donation. Asking for help also it's a challenge because for us, for fighters, it's a hard truth to face that you need help. So many times we will improvise, we will do whatever we can. We would prefer using enemy systems before we will ask for help. So unless offered, true fighters often wouldn't ask. If you ask them, like, what do you need? Like, they will tell you, it's all good, thank you, like, we manage. It's a different type of mentality.
Correct.
For civilians, it's very easy to ask. For providers of help, it's difficult to ask because it means I failed as a helper, as a rescuer, as a fighter. So that's one psychological aspect to understand. Now, trying to find the best way to invest in our people, to give them the most abilities with the least amount of funds, is one of them is the drones, because we have night vision issues that we're lacking a lot of it. But if we take, let's say, a group of 80 fighters, then we would require, let's say, at least 40 night vision kits. And that would cost slightly over 10 grand a piece. So we're talking about almost $1 million. That's not effective. Spending $1 million and helping 80 people. So first of all, we try to find units that are helping other units, like point trackers that we're helping, like ID technicians that remove the bomb threat, special forces that lead the other forces. And this way we invest in, let's say, 30 soldiers that save 400 soldiers. More effective.
Sure.
Another thing we do is the gear doesn't go to the units permanently, but I rotate it between units in service. So when they're off duty, they give it back, I service it, and then I give it to the next unit.
Now, you had a unit call you earlier who was coming off the field for a few weeks,
Yeah.
and they were going to turn their drone in, but you told them to keep it because they might be called right back up.
It's not just the drone, it's the whole package.
Okay.
Yeah, and I told them to hang on to it for the next 2 weeks because there might be some interesting developments. Yeah.
And we're hearing back in the States too, and you and I talked about this briefly about Gaza and going in and wiping out everybody in Gaza and taking it over. And you were saying, that's what the world's being told right now.
It's a very good headline.
Yes.
It takes a lot of attention.
It does. Is that good or bad for Israel?
That the attention will be directed elsewhere?
Yeah.
It's very good because this way you can do whatever you need to do in another front.
Now you're still battling, different avenues too. You still got Lebanon, you still got Syria, you still got Gaza. So
it's not. This is the maybe the main inaccuracy.
Okay.
Is thinking we are fighting nations. We're not fighting nations. We're actually fighting for the nations that we supposedly fight against.
Explain that.
We're fighting against evil, not about the nation that evil possesses. It's true in Lebanon, in Syria, in Iraq, in Yemen, in Iran, in LA, and in Gaza. Okay? And soon France, when they will acknowledge it, Brussels, the UK, but it might be too late for them. So the thing is, Gaza was occupied by Hamas 20 years ago. And since then, Hamas has been slaughtering Gazans. They are not civilians. They have no citizenship. They are subjects of Hamas. And no one who isn't Hamas has any rights.
As the people in Gaza, living in Gaza.
As the people of Gaza.
Right.
They are not Palestinians. They're not Jordanian refugees. They are Egyptians that were left behind because the people of Gaza, since the early days of Philistines, were problematic. So in '73, in the peace agreement between Egypt and Israel, then it was the first time in history that two nations argued who will not take the land. Each one was trying to give this piece of land to the other country, but wouldn't have it. So we, being the bleeding heart of the world, took it for peace, which is a Western concept. Okay, there's no notion of peace between Arabs. Yeah.
Okay.
Westerns refer to peace as like a quiet time with no fighting, maybe some financial cooperation, maybe going to visit there for vacation. It doesn't exist. There's no peace in the Western concept in Egypt. Egypt hates Israel.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
But they know we're strong enough to defend ourselves. So there's peace. It's not peace, it's more like patience. In Arabic, it's called sabr. It's like resiliency. There are many. This is a religious war that is waged by Islam against all the heretics and all the other Muslims, and they will end up killing everyone, including themselves. But like long story short, but there are principles to it. One of them is the reason people are so confused. It's the taqiyya, the deception, the lie. So they are commanded to lie under the shahada, under the holy war of Islam. They are commanded to lie to the heretics, to mislead them, as long as it furthers Islam's goals. Now, Islam's goals are to take over the world and to create the Muslim state. Okay? But the fun fact is that the only places that Muslims can actually live as Muslims is under a Jewish regime or, let's say, second best under a Christian regime.
Okay.
But under a Muslim regime, Muslims just murder each other. Because no one is Muslim enough, and there are many types of Muslims. You can see what happened in Syria, 300,000 dead. Who talks about it?
Right.
They are slaughtering whole communities like official genocide. They're saying we are eliminating all the Yazidis, all the Druze, all the. What's up with that?
Right.
Now, the only place that it seems illogical is Israel. That's a good thing because we don't do genocide.
Right.
We get genocide. This is exactly what happened on the 7th. How else would you refer to like senselessly killing everything and anyone, regardless of like they executed Muslim pregnant women, which is, let's say, the last thing you would think a Muslim terrorist would do.
Right.
So if they did that, then everything else is kosher, like everything goes. But it's something I'd rather not go into, but it's not killing the body they were after. They were trying to kill our future and our soul.
Right.
And they did a great effort to achieve that goal. They were very creative, very brutal, unhuman. It's beyond any zombie apocalypse movie you ever saw. Combined with like the Saw and some, you get the point.
Right. Right.
Um,
And yet, Israel, when you retaliate, you make sure that there's not any civilians. Oh, well, you do your best to make sure
it's
there's.
not really retaliate. Retaliate would mean senseless slaughter of Gazans.
Okay.
But because we know that Hamas doesn't represent Gaza,
Okay.
the other way around, then we don't retaliate, but we try to root out evil from Gaza.
So I think that's a very clear point to make because in the Western world, we're told you're retaliating.
But it's not accurate.
Right.
You're also being told that they're Palestinians.
Correct.
You're also being told that Israel is Palestine, when actually Jordan is Palestine.
Correct.
You're being told that before 48 there was a Muslim country here. That's a lie. The flag of Palestine between 29 to 48 was light blue and white with a golden David star on it. Now, the flag we see now as the flag of Palestine, it's actually the flag of the PLO, not Palestine. It was the Iraq-Jordan flag in 58. It was a kingdom that briefly lived in 58 for like 6 months between Iraq and Jordan. And why did Yasser Arafat at the time chose this flag? Because it refers to the time in Jordan before Saudi gave Jordan to the Hashemites.
Right.
Now, the Hashemites took over Jordan and then it became the Hashemi Kingdom of Jordan. But what about the Jordanians that were there before? They're not Hashemites, so they're not civilians anymore. So now they're refugees in their own countries, and they're 95%. So what's up?
Right.
Okay, that's a fun fact to know. And then the PLO only embraced this flag in '64 and was actually facing Jordan.
Correct.
Was fighting Jordan until the '80s, I think. In '80, they arranged much like today, like from the river to the sea, you know, all of that. Let's murder everyone and bathe in their blood and have fun. So all of these college,
Yep. University students. Yep.
yeah.
They don't know which river, which sea, by the way, when they say that, oftentimes.
Whose blood? Yeah, I know. But you know, don't let the truth ruin a good story.
It was interesting too, because right over our shoulders, a power plant. You were saying that Israel provides power to.
Yeah, we provide a lot. But let's just finish this. The thing is, in the year '80 or '81, I think, then Yasser Arafat did all of these the students' protests in Jordan, and the Jordanians, they didn't shoot tear gas at them, or like you know, like you do with the firefighters that you know, spraying high pressure water at them. They ran over them with tanks. They killed 5,000 students in a day. And this is how Muslims work. Arabs, hard to say what made them do that, but they do it all over, every day. And it's okay, because they are Muslims, because they are Arabs. So they have like a permit.
Why is that okay?
Because I don't know. I don't know how come, but they get away with murder. There was no outrage, like all of Europe is flooded by refugees from Syria.
Yes.
Is Assad to blame? No, no one talks about it. 300,000 people murdered.
Right.
It's okay. Why? Because he's one of them. Because he's not Jewish.
Right.
So they do whatever they want, and then they say that we're doing it. It's like kindergarten all over again. You know? Giving someone a slap and then going to the teacher and telling her like, "Oh, we gave you a slap."
Right.
You know?
And that's what the Western media really kind of promotes too. That's how Israel's seen in a lot of eyes.
Yeah.
That's why I appreciate you taking this time to talk and really saying, you know, people need to hear what really is the truth out there.
I think it was Goebbels, the propaganda minister of the Third Reich, that said that the bigger the lie and the more frequently it's being taught, the more believable it is.
Mm-hmm. You hear it enough time, it becomes truth.
Yeah, he was a smart man.
Yeah.
Well, they did a fine work in murdering Jews, and they have many followers.
Right.
These days.
Well, it's important to understand the history, as you just gave us the history lesson, but I want people to understand what Israel is doing that no one's talking about, saying over our shoulder here is a power plant that was, you guys make sure that everybody in Gaza has free power, correct? And water. And
it's like we have like a certain guidelines to how human beings should live,
mm-hmm.
like education,
mm-hmm.
Roads, sewage, you know, electricity, the basics.
Mm-hmm.
Water, fresh water. Gaza has no water source. How do they survive?
How do they survive?
How did anyone drop water bags on them? No. They only talk about food. Why? Because Hamas don't give them the food they have. They are stocked for years ahead.
You said they got 10 years worth of food supply there.
It was, it's an estimate. It used to be like 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And with all of these extra droppings, now they blame us for the droppings that people were killed from the packages falling from the sky. What do you say to that?
Right.
Okay. So if you got run over because you're crossing the road when the truck with your food is coming and you get run over, whose fault is it? Is it Israel's fault? If you're standing on a roof trying to steal food and then the roof collapses, instead of waiting downstairs for someone to take the package down and then you can take your package,
Right.
is it Israel's fault?
That's what we want to hear.
We are like the chosen people. We need to serve an example, we need to, and we do it, but there is a limit to our responsibility. We're not to blame for every problem in this planet, but we would, in fact, like to help if we can. It doesn't make it our responsibility.
Right.
So because we care, then we're expected to prevent it. I don't know.
Well, again, Standing Stones, this is something just for you. This will not be put out publicly. This is something that Ariel just graciously just want to kind of let you know how we can help, what we can do, and hopefully from this point going forward, we will be there to help you and do what we can.
So we were talking about the night vision. So we said we raised that giving night vision to everyone that needs it is impractical. It just costs too much money. So there's the night vision drones. So this way we give a couple of those or three of those to a unit, depends on the size. And then you're talking about roughly $60,000 instead of like 600 for the same 60, 80, or 100 soldiers. And it provides them the same services, just that they cannot see it individually, but there's someone seeing the whole area and can guide them, by radio. So it's a perfect solution.
Right.
It's also used to I don't know how much you know about the actual fighting. The biggest threat is the IEDs.
Right.
So these drones help us in a major way identify the IEDs in the terrain and also the terrorists planting them. And then we know to go and handle those instead of tripping on it, and it saves numerous lives.
Right.
Drones are possibly, other than robots, which are ridiculously expensive, then the drones are possibly the most effective ways to have a positive impact on this. And I also make sure to maintain them and to fix them. Everything gets damaged in the war. So we pick up the pieces, we fix them, we replace parts, we replace drones that go missing. Because a kit that we buy isn't just the drone. It's the camera and the drone and the battery and the remote and the packaging and everything and the charging station and all of that. It's a complete kit for what you need in order to set out and work with it. And it's important to say that we don't only support fighters. We do a lot of work around medical teams. We provided night vision for the airborne evacuation unit, medical MEDEVAC unit. So now they can do, they land and they treat the injured first on land, and then they stabilize them, then evacuate them. So till they met us, they had no ability to perform dark field surgeries. So we got them infrared lighting on their vests, on their helmets. We got them night vision. We got them everything they needed, and they already saved numerous lives with it. I used to count. I stopped when it hit like 14 guys that they did dark field surgeries on. And for me, as someone that you might ask yourself, like, why are you spending your day off with us, right? And thing is, for people who've been through what we've been through, and I've been through quite a bit, uh, over 16, how do you call it when you're fighting terrorists? Like when you meet them, engagements, like so over 16 of those just on the 7, with 2 random guys that I picked up, and we just, you know, had no idea what we're doing, and like who's against us, and how many are more, and yeah.
That was October 7th. Yeah.
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 So there's a need to make some good out of it.
Right.
Because it's senseless. There's no logic to it.
Right.
Everything we saw and everything we've been through is completely illogical. It's not a fight over land. It's not a fight over resources. It's just a fight against
evil.
It's for nothing.
It's a fight against evil.
It's a pointless murder.
Yeah.
Like we defend our way of life. We fight for freedom of religion, for freedom of speech, for women to be able to not be property, for our kids to be able to choose their religion, to have some sort of a positive future.
Right.
Democracy, equality.
All things that we should be talking about.
That aren't even an issue in these regimes because they just simply not existing.
Right. And again, that's what the Western world needs to hear more of, and that's why we're here to help you. And so, I want to kind of be courteous of your time and everybody else's time. So I'm going to wrap this up, but I just want to say thank you for what you're doing. And
gladly, and thank you for what you're doing, and for what you're gonna do, and being willing to do it, and taking your time and coming over here. And it's very difficult for me to know what your congregation is thinking, and what interests them, and what they would like to know. So
we just want to how can we help? What can we do?
I would love to take questions, and gladly, like let us know what interests you. If there's anything that seems illogical, and you ask like what's up with that, then it's usually a lie.
Right.
You know? So go with faith. You know, it's that's the beauty of our belief that God speaks to all of us.
Right.
And we're not bound from the truth, and we don't have to. It's not a cult like many other beliefs these days.
Right.
And I'll be happy to shed some light on whatever I can.
Well, I will share this with our congregation, and I will offer if they have any questions. I'm sure you'll be available for that, and I look forward to having them do that.
Happily.
Thanks, brother.
Sure.
Appreciate you. All right, what do you think? There you heard a first-hand account on what it's like. I thought it was fascinating that he said, how they're being worn down by the truth not being revealed, how people not understanding the truth of what's happening in Israel. I think it was fascinating how he talked about just being a reserve and how they have to put their own finances into it and what they have to do. This is why we have been trying to come alongside them and raise money and help support, especially the reserves who are fighting terrorism there in Israel. So if you've not been involved with that, but you want to be, you can go to Interpret the Times and click on the Bless Israel button, on the Donate button, and that would be happy to make sure that whatever you send in will go towards the IDF. So far, we've been able to buy over 30 vests. We've been able to buy some nighttime vision goggles. We even were able to purchase a drone. So if you would like to help and support, go to Interpret the Times, hit the Donate button, and click I want to bless Israel, and we'll be glad to get that to you. We'll be back next week with the 5th and final edition of Inside Access to the IDF. Between now and then, I pray everything you say and do glorifies God. Until then, God bless you. Thank you for watching Interpreting Time. Please like, comment, and subscribe.